future. We'd be one of the first schools to have a cricket team in the area. So club status allows them to play other area clubs as well. There's no restrictions there. And, you know, under my oversight as well, as your athletic director, I can make sure those games are educationally based with other programs that share the joy and the growth of the sport of cricket.
I wanted, the young man was incredible. He blew me away at the last board meeting. His presentation skills, his articulation was amazing. And, you know, I went up to his parents afterwards and said they should be very proud. Does any board member have any questions about the kid?
Yeah, one really quick, no, I can't wait for this to hit the ground as soon as possible. I'm just curious about the funding answer in the FAQ. Just like any other team at high school, they'll get their own savings account. I don't.
Thank you for that. For me to clarify that, and I should have probably asked him to correct it. We are on the same page. He didn't articulate it correctly. It's our student activities account. So so that all teams have that come through and put their funds for that they raise. I apologize. I should have, I was reading that before. Thank you. That's our student.
So the funds will be following the prescribed process that we already do for all the other clubs.
And teams, yes.
Okay, clubs and teams, yes. Okay, I believe Ms. Arminio was first and then Ms. Racker.
So it's not clear. I mean, it's clear the way you pointed out, but it's a sport, not a club, but we're initiating it as a club.
No, initiating as a sport, which is.
So how can we do a sport if it's not sanctioned by?
It's an intramural sport.
So this is that's hence the word club, like, you know, so, and that's,
So for the first year, because the second year, then, well, you said we already have a coach, so we'd have to pay a coach. It's not a first year volunteer. Is it a first year volunteer coach?
it's a first and second year volunteer, 2 years. Self-funded for 2 years. So what we did with boys volleyball,
Right.
which as I came into the district, that was just becoming a sport. It's 2 years self-funded so that we can, parent funded, or however they raise their funds, to make sure that, there's an interest, there's a vibrancy to the program that we can then move forward and, fund it and have it, you know, for each successive year as a school.
And not just for this, I had spoken to Ms. Belko last meeting. I don't know if it's that difficult, but I think, could we have for all of well, might even be, we might need it for clubs and the sports teams, the cost per involved pupil in this, because some sports take a lot more money per student. And in order, you know, and whether we like it or not, we're always fund driven on these things, and we have to be careful going into our referendum. So if a sport, and I'm talking about this sport in particular, but if a sport costs, you know, $400 a student every year, or a sport costs $30 a student every year, I think the board should know that going in. And I'm all for this sport. However, going forward, I think we'd have to start really talking about holding the line at some point until we get our funds really aligned with the need for our referendums and things like that. I mean, I know we have to address the students' needs and the sports and all, and it's great. But I would like to know, like I said, some sports are not that many kids, but a lot more expensive. And I think it's not fair across the board for all the children, or to not have this, a sport because we can't afford it going forward, but yet some sports are really cost, you know, the cost benefit to the whole.
Completely understand. I can, if that's a report that
Well, that
I'd
would
like
be
to
up
see,
to
that you all instruct me to do. I've done in the past, I have a template. The things, not to get into that report,
Right.
but I mean, things that I would get as close to the cost as possible. There's some things
Right.
that are not in my budget, like transportation. Right.
No, not
Yeah.
talking about that. I'm talking about the actual equipment, we have places we have to, rent, all of that. But anyway, I'm sorry, right?
No,
That's a great question. It's a great, piece of it. So,
My
Ms. Ratner, is it
question-
the same topic?
It's the coaching, the first and second year are volunteer. My concern is you have this for 2 years, then you have to pay a coach. The last meeting, we were discussing not having enough assistant coaches for the already established teams. He was great. I want him to be successful. I think it's a great idea. I don't want to start a program and then in the third year, we're having issues with that funding because we can't fund the coaches that are, needed based on what you said at the last meeting.
Well,
I appreciate that concern. And again, for discussion, I don't know if this district can say in 2 years after we assess the program that we're not in a position to fund your program, you're gonna have to continue the self-funding. I mean, that's a possible scenario.
if we get to
I
that
don't
point,
know.
though, here's my statement.
Right.
We get to that point, we're gonna have to make that difficult decision across the board, because it won't just be sports that we'll have to look at. It'll be, certain things, and there'll be certain things that'll be top on the list to be chopped. Just like any other budget formation, and we could talk about this forever. This is really a financial committee, discussion, but I recommend as the curriculum chair that we ask Mr. Dowling, from the leadership to administration to maybe, prepare those reports so we can see them. Mrs. Skurbe, I know you had a question. We do have one more topic we have to get to.
No, I was just gonna say, echoing some of Michelle's concerns, I think, Abir did an amazing job coming and speaking for this. I think it's great that students take the initiative. My only concern with it is we need to have more information. To say it's just gonna be self-funded and the kids are gonna take care of it themselves and we're gonna hire somebody
I
into
don't
the
think
district.
that I don't think it's the kids are gonna take care of themselves. I think that with their advisor and everything, they're gonna follow the same processes and the things that we do.
We don't
for
even
the
have an
clubs.
advisor here in the district right now. We're trying to hire somebody in to do it.
No,
Mr. Barr,
Sub-coach, he's coming as a volunteer. The advisor's a teacher in the district.
Yeah.
you were
Coach
requested.
is a sub, and he's not gonna get paid for the first 2 years. The whole thing is gonna be that here's my take on it. We have an interest of over 100 students already, 150 students, and we have this, this piece where they're gonna do their own fundraising, they're gonna work
But
on
that's
that,
the problem is why do they have to fundraise?
because
Why?
that's how clubs start.
But it's not a club, it's a sport.
No, it's a club.
Assuming
But
No,
that's
it's being
started.
No,
That's
it's,
right.
it is it's a club sport.
But it's
It's a club
It's-
sport, and I don't think that,
And where are we playing? And what is the schedule? And how are they
But-
getting?
So-
but that, I believe that's not our purview, honestly, for us to decide or to talk about. That's his problem. Where they're gonna play, what courts they're gonna play on, what fields
How
they're
do you
gonna
make
play
a
on.
decision to approve something if you don't have any of that information?
Why do you need that
Well-
information? You have to trust your people that work for you to be able to do the job right. I don't think we need all of that information. They're giving us the questions we asked, they're giving us the
We sent
information.
away an advisor last year that wanted to create a dance team because she didn't come with all of the information.
And she never came back with the questions.
But,
She never
We
came back
asked
with
her the
that.
same type of question.
But that was her choice not to come back. I don't wanna argue with you about this right here,
I'm just
but,
saying, we asked her to come back with.
but she didn't come back.
But why wouldn't we be asking the same question?
We are, this is why we have this. We asked these questions. You weren't at the meeting he was at.
No, I watched it online.
Okay,
I
but
saw
I'm
it.
saying, these are the questions we asked, and these are the answers we got, and Mr. Dowling is kind of, is presenting them here. So I disagree with you that this is, something that we need more information on. I would like to move forward with a consensus of the committee to recommend this pass in this